Alright, so for our final example, we're going to look at the function 1 over x squared. And so I've gone ahead and drawn the graph. A lot of you may be wondering how I come up with these graphs. Sometimes I just put 1 over x squared in my graphing calculator and that gives me this nice graph. But sometimes we can do it, I'll do it by hand as well. So to do that, what I like to do is create a nice chart. And what I'll do is I can pick any x's and we'll plug them in to see what the y value or the height of all of those points are going to be. So let's start with 2. And I'm going to plug, I picked 2 because it's a nice number. I'm going to plug 2 in, so I'll have 1 over 2 squared, which is a fourth. And we can plot that, so that would be something like right here. And then we can pick 1 and plug it in. So I get 1 over 1 squared, or 1, and we can draw that on here. And then maybe a half to see what happens. So I'd have 1 over 1/2 squared, which gives me 4. So we can go ahead and draw that. And maybe a tenth. So I get 1 over 1/10 squared, which is 100. So we could draw that, which would be way up there. And then we can just connect the dots. And it's a good idea to also use negatives. And when I do that, I'm going to get -2/4, -1/1, -1/2/4, and then I can draw the other side of the graph too. So now that I have this graph, what we want to figure out is when we're around 0, how is this function behaving, okay? So we're going to walk along it just like we've done for all the others, right? We're going to walk along our graph. And what you're going to notice, right, here our height's about 10, we keep walking, it's 20, we keep walking, it's 30, 40, and as we keep going, it seems like these answers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it seems like it's a really big number, okay? Let's look at the other side and see if it's behaving the same way. We saw in the last example that's really important to make sure both sides behave the same. So again, we're going to walk up our function, and it looks like the height is 20 as we keep walking, 30, 40, just keep walking. This side's also getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so we would say the limit is a really big number, okay? But how do we know what big number? Well, it seems like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it doesn't seem like that it stops getting bigger. So in mathematics, what we use to represent or a number that's very big and keeps growing is what's called infinity, which we use this kind of sideways 8 symbol to represent. So for this, we would say that the limit is infinity, and that just means what's happening is the values or the height of this function just keeps growing larger and larger and larger.